morning. Welcome to Mindful Yoga. Let's go ahead and begin. So as we start, it's almost like more of like a preparation. Like we're preparing for doing this work. You might just settle in, start with just a centering, a grounding, finding a place to sit where the spine can really lift up. Lifting up through the crown of the head. And as you're doing this, there's all sorts of kind of melting, like, oh, I'm sitting upright, but I can relax my face. I might take a breath and just let your shoulders kind of melt down. Just notice how you feel today. What's going on? So our little theme we're working with that I'll play with today is the whole practice of cultivating a calm experience, of a relaxed, calm presence, and even understanding why we would do this, why it would matter. I find that this is almost like kind of counterculture. There's so many things in our world that are just like, hey, exciting. Or, seeking entertainment, like fun and entertaining. And this can lead to a lot of just underlying tension. Things aren't exciting enough. So in a way, when we're settling, just relaxing here, at least what I've noticed is that it reminds me of a different source of joy, a different source of delight. And just by being embodied and breathing and enjoying freedom of tension, so even as we're doing our yoga poses today, then we're going to see like, well, what would it feel like to be relaxed and calm no matter what? So I'm going to back up a little bit here, because as we're sitting, we're actually just going to reach our arms forward. And as you bring your arms all the way up, like already, like, could you relax here? So we have to look closely. We might say like, yeah, I'm relaxed, I'm good. But if you really feel like, oh, maybe I could soften my face a little bit, I could relax my shoulders down. Like a little slightly different level of being at ease and relaxed. Now, I know you can't see my hands, but I'm going to make fists with my hands. And then I'm just going to pull down, like just like you were pulling. And as I pull down, my elbows are going back, but I'm not pulling and dropping, sinking down. So I'm really keeping that lift up through the spine. So we're going to breathe as we do this. Inhale, the arms go forward and up. And as you exhale, you pull down. Now breathe through your nose the whole time. Inhaling up. Exhaling down, pulling down. So as you start to do this, really look closely. Can I breathe this nice, full, deep breath? Can I do this movement, this physical action, and just stay really relaxed? We might feel like, oh, there's like a physical sense of being relaxed. And then there's even a mental calm, less mental activity. There's nothing to really figure out here. I'm just doing this and actually letting this activity. So, what happens with yoga is even this movement starts to help us to uproot like physical tension that we're holding on to. It's just the movement itself just starts to bring in a more of a fluidity. Ah. And the strength of this, when I'm really sitting upright, it creates a lot of space within. And that space is like a felt sense of being free of tension. I'm not a tight knot of tension. Do whatever pace you want to do with this big movement and breath. Take 2 more of these. Full breaths, exhaling. But even the action itself, like you're putting forth just the right effort. Good. And as we let go of this, we're going to release seated pose. And on your mat, you're going to take yourself right to all fours on your hands and knees. So we just really move the arms. I just feel like we just got to go right to the legs and let your legs move. So take your knees closer together. Keep your arms, though, straight, really nice and strong. And then just reach your right leg back. And just notice, like, could I do that simple action in a relaxed way? And even create space by reaching your chest forward here. And then just switch. Bring your right knee down. Take your left leg, reaching way back. Even close your eyes and do this back and forth. I mean, it's a simple movement, but we're getting into like a really subtle level of being free of tension. So can you feel your whole body fairly relaxed? Almost to the point where the more relaxed you are, then you can really feel, the work of this pose, the muscles that are really waking up, working. Good. And then as you let this go, the hands are going to go forward a little bit. Spread your fingers and just move right into that first downward facing dog where the toes tuck under and you start to lift up. And as you gradually move into this pose, do it with an actual awareness of kind of relaxing, breathing. So you're not pushing the body, you're just letting the body take its time to explore this shape of down dog. Good. Now as you take the knees back down, just move yourself right back to all fours. So the hands are under the shoulders. Now take the knees close together again. And now we'll just go out to the side with the legs. So you're just going to lift your right leg up, out to the side, and then it drops down. And then the left leg lifts up, and it drops down. And we just do this back and forth, back and forth. Feeling your breath, just aware, like, Whole body breathing. So we might discover then that, being relaxed doesn't really accidentally happen. That's one reason we could practice being mindful. Like, oh, if I'm mindful, I notice I can choose to be even just a little more relaxed. Good. Now, as you let this go, you're going to just go ahead and flip right onto your back. So, as you recline here, let's go ahead and bring the right knee into the chest. You can hold your right thigh as you bring the knee in, and then extend your left leg out. And feel your whole backside of your body, even to sense the spaciousness. I love doing this laying on the pose or laying on the floor because it just naturally brings in a lot of space. And that can be like, relaxing. So switch legs, bring the left knee in, extend that right leg out. Keeping your face really relaxed, keeping your mouth really relaxed and your throat relaxed now, because you're going to go back and forth as you do this. You're going to breathe and move and just breathe and move. Just go back and forth. So we're practicing, like, as we really start to do some work in the body, can I make sure that I don't hold my breath? Feel breath flowing. Good. Now, as you let this go, let the feet just drop down to the mat. So knees are bent. And then reach your arms way out to the side. Adjust your shoulder blades if you need to. So the floor itself, it's like your shoulder blades are kind of being pressed down your back a little bit. And then lift your feet slightly away from the floor. Squeeze your legs together. And then just start to drop the legs right and left, back and forth. And we'll just initiate that twist action through the spine. Let this rock back and forth, back and forth. And notice, like, I'm not overreacting in any way. I'm not holding my breath. And once you've established that, then you might just let the body choose if it wants to move a little deeper into this twist. If the legs want to drop down lower, you can do this kind of faster back and forth or a little slower. Just make sure, like, if you start really moving deep into this, that you're not holding your breath. So what are you noticing as you're doing this? Like, what's being revealed about how your body feels today? Like, what could you learn from exploring this relationship with your body? Breathe, like you could breathe deep into your whole body here. And feel the twisting. Feel the twisting through the spine. So it's really good to stay with this. Maybe one thing you learned is, like, the body really needs a lot of time to warm up to these deeper actions. And it makes sense. Like, well, of course it would. So go ahead now and just roll over to one side as you come up. Let's take ourselves right to Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet are together. And just let this kind of rock back and forth a little bit. Just Because when you rock back and forth, it's like you can just kind of feel the body a little bit more, feel your hips. And then intentionally take your hands behind you and even lean back a little bit. And notice the difference in your hips now when you really reach your knees out. And you breathe way down to your belly. Ah. And then take your legs wide apart. So just extend, 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 reach your legs way out to the side. And here too, just kind of pause and feel this action, maybe sitting a little more upright. Feel like it really sensitive of that sense of freedom. Close your eyes here and just breathe into your whole body. So almost like the force of the breath itself is moving. It's kind of pushing through any little knots of tension that you're holding. So this wave of breath, just the right amount of force or effort. Good. Ah. So let's practice the pose of half circle pose, Arda Mandala. So you're going to take your right leg and just bend that right knee and pull the foot in towards your left thigh. And then lean out to your right. Take your right hand down and then just lift up here. So as you're lifting up, you're lifting your chest, you're lifting your butt away from the floor, you're opening, opening, opening. Ah. And then you very lightly drop down. Like you land down. And as you switch sides, you lean back a little bit and you switch your legs. So you lean over to your left. Your left hand drops down and you just push into your hand and you lift up. Ah, opening the front of the body. And then just do this back and forth in a very fluid way. So you drop down, you switch your legs. So you extend that left leg, right foot pulls in towards left thigh, and just lean out to the right. Now, as you sweep that left arm up, maybe it's just the arm that comes up. And that feels right. Or you really lift, like your butt away from the floor, you lift up. Taking a breath or two, and then you just sweep down and you switch. So this is a pretty big action, but it almost is like a big morning stretch that you lift up into. The breath helps you explore. Remember, you're relaxing as you're doing this, so it's a very fluid back and forth. Just breathing and moving back and forth. So even to the point where there's no strain, your face is relaxed. So thanks for that comment, Mary Pat. It sounds like your audio went out for a moment and then it's back. So please feel free, everyone, if you have any comments to, that's how we communicate, is through the chat. So yes, we are continuing to go back and forth with this big lifting up, lowering down. And this is a good one for that like weight bearing, through your arms. Like that, you gotta push up and lift up. And then you just drop back down. Ah. Good. Now, as you release that, the legs go right straight in front of you. And you move to just a big forward bend here. So this is pretty straightforward. I find find that this forward bend is so different from my forward bend when I'm standing up. It's like, ooh, it's like the legs are on the floor, straightening, lengthening. But now as you come up, we're going to flip over and then just take ourselves right to downward facing dog, which is also, in a way, a forward bend. There's flexion in the hips. But notice how you're just in a 90-degree angle here. So explore keeping your spine really long. And then go ahead and walk your feet forward. So what does it feel like here in this standing forward bend? Boy, it's a lot easier to just like to bend your knees, and then feels different with the knees bent. But what happens when you straighten your legs? Push into your feet, reach your arms out, come all the way up, all the way up. Ground your heels all the way up, reach up here. Good. Now as your arms come down to your sides, you're going to take your feet and you might even turn on your mat. So I'm going to turn just so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to take my feet a little wider apart and then just move into a little squat where I'm pointing my feet out to the side. We could do our little repetition here where I'm going to straighten my legs, bend my knees, and just explore that as I'm bending and straightening my legs, I'm feeling like my pelvis, attempting not to let my pelvis spill forward. So I'm keeping the pelvis more upright and my whole spine more upright as I'm doing this. I'm just bending, straightening, and just feel that even the strength, like around your joints here, that you're working the repetition of nice, healthy joints that strong, stable. Good. And then just stay in a little bit of a squat, like maybe not as low as you can get. Hands on the hips and actually let your pelvis move. So you're scooping your tailbone way under and then you're untucking your tailbone. So now the pelvis is moving. It's like it's spilling forward, it's spilling back, and you're just going back and forth. This is actually really wonderful for your lower back. You're choosing like how big of a movement to do. And I would even say like your lower back is choosing. It's great to just get this movement through the pelvic bowl, through your hips, while breathing. Good. And then as you let that go, the toes are forward and just step your legs together here. Let's do our big dynamic kind of marching, but I would even call this like a marching tree pose because it's almost a little bit of a balance here. So the arms are going to come up and you're going to just lift one knee up. It doesn't matter, lifting your knee up, balance on the other leg. So make sure your standing leg is really firm and straight. And then you come down, arms down, foot down, and you just switch. Arms come up, lifting the other knee up. Balance. Coming down, and then inhale, you go all the way up. Exhale all the way down. Inhale all the way up. So what a good one for following or finding your own pace, your watching your body and making sure, like, could I possibly relax as I do this? I know I keep coming back to some of these words for each class, like this idea of harmony. I just love that. That idea of being harmonious. That, and that it's possible to experience this harmony, mind, body, at ease. It's something we all know. Like we all have had that experience of being at ease just for a moment, with the body, mind content. And how sometimes it has to be really intentional, that it's something doesn't accidentally happen and we practice. Now pause, just keep your arms down. Mountain pose. And then move up to the front of your mat. So we're gonna do a little repetition, and we're gonna do a couple poses that we're gonna kind of build up on. So from the front of the mat, we could start with palms together in front of the heart, doing this little variation of a sun salute. So the arms are gonna come up, we lift up, even look up, and then forward bend. So arms go to the side, you fold forward, breathing. So if the body, if you feel like you get a little tight in this pose, you could bring in a bigger wave of breath. Like, I maybe lift up, breathe, very gradually move into this. And then just keep your right foot right where it is and take your left foot and step it way, way back. So we're moving into a big high lunge position. So the front knee, that right knee is reaching forward and your back heel is reaching back. Those two directions kind of open the hips up. And then intentionally lengthen the spine and reach your chest forward a little bit. Good. Now you're going to lift up around your navel. And as you lift your navel up, you're going to step forward with that left foot. Lift up, step forward. Nice and light. Come all the way up to standing. Just reach up. Arms go to the side. You move back to your forward bend. Big wave of breath. And the left foot stays forward. Your right foot steps way back. Explore high lunge on this side. We relax into this. So there's a strength in this pose. We're not kind of drooping or hanging here. There's straightening the back leg. Breathing, lengthening the spine. Free of tension, just waves of breath. Now, there's a lift of the navel as you step forward. You come all the way up to standing, all the way up. Drop your tailbone, lift your chest, look up. Good. Now the arms go out to the side. And the right foot stays forward, the left foot steps back. So this is a little bit similar, right? So I have this kind of lunge position. And we're going to do two variations of a twist here. So you're in this crescent pose. And we're going to keep that lift up to the spine, stay grounded as you twist and open to your right. So the right arm starts to reach back, even just a little bit. It's so good. Please do not force your right arm to like reach, like that would be a lot for me to really reach my right arm like straight back. That would be really stressful. So just a little bit and feel like there's no stress. There's a lot of work, but I don't need to stress out. There's your twist. Now, as you let go of that twist, you face forward, you're going to move to that forward bend again, or that high lunge position where your fingers touch. And then from here, we're going to twist open. So I'm going to take a little wider stance and bring my right hand right up to my right thigh. As I do that, naturally, I'm going to start to twist and open to the right. Now stay nice and grounded here. Legs are working. Do not pour all of your weight into your left hand, okay? So twist open the right shoulder and maybe reach your right arm, like wherever it goes here, to like, open the chest. Good. And then letting go. The navel lifts a little bit, you step forward. And you come all the way up. You push into your feet, reach up. And the arms go out to the side. Keep your left foot forward. You step your right foot way back. So you're in this. Again, the legs are kind of in that lunge position, but we're lifted up to crescent. Twisting open to your left, just slightly. Like you might go a little bit and just pause. It's so good to take that little pause and just feel, yeah, right here, I could be relaxed. And then maybe a little deeper twist. If you want to bring your right hand down to that left thigh, you can. What would lead to stability, feeling relaxed, and yet the strength, the feeling of strength and stability deepens. As you untwist, you face forward, and then you just lean forward, almost like a forward bend, and you touch your fingers down. Now I'm going to take a little wider stance. It just like feels like my legs want to do that. My right hand is going to stay down. My left hand lifts up to left thigh. Lengthen your spine. So just feel, breathe. It's like, twisting, twisting. Opening the left shoulder up. Maybe the arm, might reach a little out to the side or up. Press into the ground like your legs are strong. Lots of space. That's a good one. Plenty of space here. Twisting. As you release, the top hand comes down and you step forward nice and light. Step up. Push into the feet. Come all the way up. Reach up here. And then the arms come all the way down. So we're going to go through just a sun salute and then end up with kind of building on what we just did. So arms come up. You move to your full forward bend. You go back to your downward facing dog. Relaxing. But firm. Like as you straighten your legs and your arms, it's like, that stability is relaxing. Move now to your plank pose. Feel your whole body here. Soft face. In your own way, lower down onto the floor. Legs reach back, so like your thighs reach way back. Cobra pose, you start to lift up. So part of maintaining this kind of calm, relaxed quality is maybe moving into the pose like a little bit slower, or I would say more mindfully. Because if we move too fast, tension comes in really fast. So if we lift gradually, like, slowly relax, relax, relax. Notice how when you're lifting up that the shoulders draw down away from your ears. And then in your Cobra pose, wherever you are, lower about halfway down out of your Cobra. Then lengthen and lift your legs. Even to the point, if possible, like your thighs are really lifting up away from the floor. Stay wide across your chest. And maybe reach your arms out to the side, like directly out to the side. Just a little lift of your chin so that you're not just, dropping your head down. Good. Now let's just fold the arms in so you're preparing for down dog. So the hands on either side of the chest, toes tuck under, and then push into your hands. Like when you push your hands down, then that starts that lifting up back to down dog. Now, in your own way, you're going to lift your navel up a little bit, look forward to your hands. So we're going to step the right foot up between your hands. And you might do that by like touching your knees down and then stepping your right foot forward. But once the right foot is forward, let's straighten the back leg. Then we are going to build a Triponasana triangle pose. The back foot will drop down. And we're going to start to straighten both legs. But as they straighten, you could take right hand on your right shin. Straighten the legs, take your left hand up to your hip. So in triangle pose, you straighten both legs, and then start to lengthen your spine and open up to the left. Very firm and grounded. Otherwise, there will be no relaxation. We want to feel nice and stable here. And then as you're opening, it's that left shoulder that really opens up. Strong legs. Like pull energy up through your legs. Maybe that top arm reaches up. Just feel spacious through your chest. Breathe. So there's that opening that top shoulder. Whole body breathing. Calm. Now, as that top arm starts to drop down, you're going to look down And then take both hands down to the mat and your back foot lifts up. So here we are back in our lunge. Now, right hand comes up to right thigh, and you're going to move into your twist here. So it's now the right shoulder is opening up. Opening, opening. Long spine, maybe reach right arm up, no strain. Relaxing into this. As that hand comes down, you might shorten your stance here a little bit with your feet so that you can come up to your crescent. Reach the arms out to the side. Breathe, find that stability here. And then that little twist again. So you reach your right arm back, reach your right arm back. Maybe if you want to, left fingers can just touch your right thigh. Twist. Feel this stability, calm. Completely let yourself just stop right where you're at and relax into the pose you're in. As you let go, as you face forward, lean forward. We're going to move right into a little tree pose. So you're going to balance on your right leg. Explore. We have to feel these various parts of the body. Like, what am I doing? Align here. How could I be relaxed in a tree pose? Breathe. Feels deep stability in the joints. As you let go, as that left foot drops down, both feet down, let yourself fold to a forward bend. And then just come back up. And let's just do a few of these, kind of more like fluid. So we really have this sense of like both very relaxed, but strength that we wake up. So you can do these forward bend, coming up just your own way. I just love these just in a practical way, like getting your head moving around. It really gets like all of the glands in your head moving, getting some space. And then next time that you fold over, you'll move back to your downward facing dog. If you feel distracted or not really connected, you could close your eyes. Bring in a certainty that you're here. Maybe feel your feet and feel the earth. Right here. Moving to your plank pose and feel your whole body. Really, you're certain. Like, I'm practicing wholeheartedly. I'm here. In your own way, lower down to the floor. letting this grow into your back bend. You're kind of slow. Like even if you move kind of slowly into this, you're going to explore like what really works for your back bend. So you can be certain that you're using your back muscles. Feel muscles contracting, the wide across your chest. Again, lower part way down out of your Cobra, lengthen and lift your legs. Reaching your arms out to the side. Breathe, feel, close your eyes here. Relaxing into this. And then just very lightly place your hands on either side of your chest. Stay wide across your chest. Keep your shoulders back away from your ears as your toes tuck under and you lift up to down dog. Sharpening that angle in your hips. Lots of space around your brain. So as you look up towards your hand, like you know your left foot is going to step up there. You could do the big step, or you could touch your knees down. And then that right leg, make sure that right leg is going to straighten. As we start to build triangle pose here, your right foot is going to drop down to the mat. Both legs start to straighten, and be mindful of where your left hand now is on your left leg. You might have it on your ankle. You might have it higher up on your shin. Right hand to right hip. Now, lengthen your spine as you start to open to your right. Notice that stabilization and the strength in your legs. So really firing up that strength, engagement, and as you're twisting, opening to the right, explore and know, like you're not just being, pushing your body into a shape. You're really feeling like, the strength, stability, the patience. As you open that right shoulder, maybe right arm reaching up. Breathe, feel. So this calm unification is what we call yoga. That you're listening to your body. Certain that ease is possible. Now as that top arm, as it drops down, you're going to look down and take both hands down to the floor, bend the left knee, right heel lifts up, and make sure you could really lengthen your spine here as you start to twist and open to your left. Now that's why I introduced the twisting in your crescent pose. So if this lunge does not work for you at all, you could lift right up and just do your twist in your crescent pose. Because we have to keep the spine really long as we're opening. Hug the legs together when you reach that left arm up. Breathe, steady. Feel possibility being relaxed here. Hand comes down. And again, you might shorten your stance a little bit with your feet. So as you come up to your crescent. Straighten the back leg. You get that lift up through your spine. The Arms reach out to the side. Ah. Twisting, open to your left. Not in a mechanical way, but with really deep interest. Is it possible to be relaxed as I do this? I need to lift up. Feel my feet. I feel grounded. Eyes are calm. Yeah, again, it would be really stressful if I wanted to reach my left arm like straight back. Oh, like that much more. Ah, really stressful. So as you let go, we're just going to lean forward, fingers. Oh, nope, forgot my tree pose. We're going to take our back foot, take little steps forward, and balance on your left leg. Again, not mechanical, like, well, this is how I always do my tree pose. It's very fresh, very present. It's happening today. Balancing. I mean, it's true. We might feel like we're having a good balance day or a bad balance day, but it's good to move past this idea of good and bad. And rather, it's more of just appropriate way of positioning your body to be at ease in your tree pose. Eyes are calm. When we start to let go of tree pose, notice there's like a little part of tree pose that remains, that you stay tall as you let go, as you bring right foot down. So really bringing in this energy of uprightness. Good. So I'm going to take one more forward fold here, where you take yourself back to your down dog. We're just going to do our big leg swings, more dynamic breathing, moving your spine a little bit. And you can always do this action on all fours rather than down dog. So we're going to take the right leg, just reach back. Lift your right leg. Breathe. And then bend your right knee and just pull it in towards your chest. You might notice that your spine rounds a little bit here, and that's fine. So when you reach your right leg back again, you want to feel like, oh, and now my spine is lengthening. And then as you pull your knee into your chest, there's that little bit of like navel in, kind of rounding. And then when you reach back, like, there's that pull and that lengthening. Now exhale as you bring your knee into the chest. Inhale as the leg goes back. And just do two more of these. Move, breathe. And then the right foot lightly lands down. You touch your knees down and you move to a child pose. It's good to feel, even in child pose, just this moment of reflection of how that felt. How did it feel physically? Was the mind able to stay calm as you do this? So let's come up and do the other side, moving first to downward facing dog. Feel free to touch your knees down and do this on all fours. So left leg is going to reach way back. This is a nice calm mind. Pull the knee into the chest. You just squeeze. And then the left leg reaching back. Pull the knee into the chest. Squeeze. Reaching back. Squeezing, pulling in. Leg going back, doing 2 more of these. And then down dog. And touching the knees down. So this time as you touch your knees down, we're just going to do our little lateral movement where you take your right hand. You reach your right hand forward and over to the left, and then the hips go back. It's a little more of that lateral stretch through the right side of the body. Breathing, feeling. Coming up, and we'll switch. We'll take that right hand back, the left hand forward, a little over to the right, and the hips reach back. Feel this might, you might be able to do some just a little bit deeper breaths here. And coming up. Good. So we are going to take ourselves to a seated pose. Basically, you're just sitting with your legs in front of you and your knees are bent. So we're going to do kind of just a variation of doing kind of a sit-up here. Just to do just some nice repetition, working this abdominal front body area. So as you're sitting here, you could take your hands on your thighs, okay? It's a little light touch. And then we're going to start to lean back, tailbone tucking under slightly, and then just going all the way down, laying down. And then as you bring yourself up, you got to lift your head and you lift up. So you have your hands on your legs. Don't worry if, however your sit up is feeling today. So you go back down. And as you lift up, you can use your elbows. Also, you have that little elbow push all the way back up. So there can be these little assist ways that you lower down. And if you're going to lift up, if it feels like you can't get up, you just push your elbows down a little bit and lift up. So this is why, we're just do this repetition, lowering. You might even lower part way and then lift yourself up. So you could do this partial back and then lifting up. Back, lifting up, depending on how this feels in your spine. All the way down. Lifting. All the way up. So practice your own way. Lifting. So one way, I know in class we've done these before, is where we use a little object like a pillow. And as I do this, where I lay back over a little pillow here, if you have one, you could do this, where you lay back and just that little height of the pillow makes it much more doable. Like I can just lean back, lift back up, lean back. So instead of like avoiding doing some work like this, it's good to find ways to do this where you can stay really calm and in a way kind of relaxed as you're finding just that right level of work. Breathing, moving. Like even your arms could get into this. Like when you lower down, you could reach your arms up above your head and then coming up. And of course, too, you can practice this with straight legs. All the way back, coming up. Either way. Good. So as we let go of this, we're going to move any props you were using. And let's just take the legs back to Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet are together here and lean back slightly. Just a little bit, just leaning back slightly. We're just getting the knees nice and open to the side. Breathing, feeling the whole body. So we were just using the front, abdominal muscles, and now we're using the back muscles a bit. And then we're going to go back to using your abdominal muscles. So you can bring your knees up, and we're going to go ahead and recline. So this one is unique in that instead of, being upright and going back and lifting back up and using your abdominal muscles here, now we're just going to be like laying down and doing the slight crunching up from here. So we'll do the one with hands behind the head. Interlace your fingers. Lift your feet up. Keep your knees bent. And then lift your head up and just aim your elbows towards your knees. So this one is, you might even sense like around your abdominal muscles what you're using here. Extend the right leg out. And then just switch. Extend the left leg out. And then switch. Extend right leg. And extend left leg. And then just release your head down. So this is, just pretty straightforward. The little crunch, the extending the legs. Let's do that again. We lift up. Extend the right leg. Switch. Extend the left leg. Switch, right leg. Switch, left leg. Release down. And then there's the one that is the twisting sit-up. So again, you lift your head up, aim your elbows towards your knees. Now extend your right leg and then reach your right elbow across to your left knee. And just release. You could even let your head drop down if you want to, or stay lifted up. Extend the left leg. Reach that left elbow across towards right knee and release that. And then switch. Right leg extends, right elbow across, and let that go. Left leg extends, left elbow across, releasing, and just drop your head down. Now you're going to lift your head and do either the twisted variation or just the legs extending variation. Do whatever your body wants to do. Breathe, move, relax. Your own practice. Good. And then as you let this go, completely release, head down, take your feet down to the floor, and just really let your arms drop out to the sides. Relaxing across your chest. Just press your feet down and just start to do a little bit of like lifting your butt away from the floor. Lifting up, so a little mini bridge pose. Just feel the weight on your upper back. Your throat is nice and soft, open, and then just release your spine down. Close your eyes now and just let this kind of roll where you lift up into your half bridge pose and then you just lower down. And doing this in a very relaxed way. Do not hold your breath at all. Keeping your face really relaxed. Next time you lower down, the feet go wider apart. You could reach your arms a little more out to the side. And then just drop the knees back and forth. So this, we prepare for our Shavasana pose by doing this very relaxed, loose action back and forth. It's like taking, again, the breath into the body and sweeping through any felt tension here. Let your head drop down. Ah. Sometimes even the words can help. Just saying to yourself, like, may I be free of tension. I'm letting go. Good. Move now to Shavasana. We'll move into our practice of stillness. In a way, we practice Shavasana wholeheartedly. So rather than thinking like, oh, I'm done with my practice, that this is a really different, more of a mental practice, right? So please give yourself this time. Even as you let your eyes close, to notice that it's not just closing your eyes. When we bring mindfulness in, that we're deeply aware of the space around your eyes, choosing to let go of any tension around your eyes. And if we continue to stay interested, oh, this is pleasant. This is like a interesting kind of pleasant feeling or joy or delight of being free of tension. Bring your awareness to your whole face, like this sense like I'm going to relax, let go of tension, the whole face. And what happens? Letting your lips soften, your throat soften, being aware of your body just as it is right now. Aware of your whole neck, maybe your whole neck and your head. And then aware of your chest and your arms. And letting go. Maybe soften your eyes again. Bring awareness to your belly. May I be free of tension. Belly softening. Naturally, the result of the legs dropping. I'm letting go. I'm letting the earth hold me. Could imagine this sinking into the earth. And the pleasantness and the delight, the joy of being free. So our practice really continues again, rather than thinking it's all over with, that we really can carry with us. Like as you come out of Shavasana, this sense and maybe physical sense of being relaxed, reconnected. So as you come back up to seated, if you want to take palms together in front of your heart, and sensing the space around the heart, around the throat. May I be free. And how, when the heart stays soft and stays soft in all circumstance, has a big effect on the hearts around you and can soften and melt all of the hearts. May all beings be free. Let's go ahead and close with the sound of Om. We'll take a deep inhale. Thank you, everyone, so much. Thanks for your comment, Colleen. Please feel free to leave any kind of comment in the chat. It's really our way. It's kind of our only way right now of sharing, connecting. If you want to, I shouldn't say our only way. If you want to send me an email or send an email through Common Ground, we really do live for feedback. Hi, Pupper. How you doing? Showing us the way, down dog. Feel free to connect in any way. I think one thing too, down in the description below where you're watching right now, there's information on if you would like to donate to Common Ground. And if you also, I think it's also included there is my website. So on my website are all the other yoga offerings that I am doing online. And you can just access that easily. If you feel that urge to give back to Common Ground, that just so you know, on the Common Ground website, it will ask you to, if you want to donate to a certain teacher or a fund, and you could put Nancy Boler Yoga. And then that way, 2/3 would go towards me and 1/3 would go to Common Ground. Love to see everyone here. I know. Raj has really been enjoying these online classes. Have a beautiful day, everyone. And hope to see you tomorrow morning, Saturday morning. I do my 2-hour class. It's from 9 to 11. And it's just a really nice, deep class. It is for all levels. So would love to see you there. Ciao, everyone.